What's up, guys? This is Rachel Capil back at it with another video. And today we are talking about how being delusional is truly the key to manifesting everything in your photo business that you want. So if you want to know how to do that, this is a video for you. Let's get to it. All right. So you're a photographer and you are stuck at the 5-figure mark a year and you're wanting to get to 6 figures, but just can't seem to break over that glass ceiling to get there. Or maybe you're not even getting consistent revenue coming in and consistent income, and you're just kind of like frustrated and you don't know how to get past these barriers. Well, in today's video, we're talking about how you literally have to be kind of delusional, delulu, to get everything that you want in your photo business. And I promise you, it's not that hard. I'm going to give you all the steps and we are going to talk about it right now because I have been there, I have done that, and I want to help you get past that because it literally is just getting past that, like, I guess uphill battle. So first off, I'm going to get into a quick story about my photo business and what I had gone through in my life, because I know exactly what you've been through because I've gone through it myself. And that's why I talk about these struggles, because you might think you're alone, but you're not. And I have completely been there. I was at a corporate job when I was back, 20 plus years ago. And it was a long time ago. I don't even know how many years, like at least 20 years ago. I was at a corporate job, stuck in a marriage where I was miserable. A friend reached out to me, basically said, you need to do something for you, because my husband at the time had a, addiction problem. And I started doing photo and I ended up really, really loving it. And fast forward, going through all that nightmare and like pure hell, I lived in this land of like, I'm just doing something that fills my heart and that makes me happy. And photo was that. Like, I would go out and I take my camera out, and a lot of you probably feel this way because you step into a almost like a fantasy type state where you guys have heard me talk about A, B, and C type goals and how the C goal is to live in a fantasy. Well, I actually made that fantasy a reality, and we're going to go over that in the next steps. But I want to tell you a little bit about my story of how like I overcame what I overcame, right? So I ended up leaving him, and I was like assisting people and learning about photography. And I was like, man, I could take this into a business, And long story short, I had a few friends in the industry because I used to cater. And back in the day, like I was a server, and a friend told me like, you need to do photography event photography, because you're missing out by not photographing weddings. And I didn't like weddings. I wasn't a big fan of them, but I thought about it and I sat with myself and I was like, you know what? Like, she's right. I'm probably leaving $50,000 on the table just by not doing weddings. Right. And because of something that my ex had said, I was like, had this like stigma about weddings. And I just kind of was like, I'm going to get over this. And like, I'm just going to do it. And so my friend told me, I was just thinking about it in my head, doing it over and over. And she's like, you should meet this girl. Her name's Shayna. She's an event planner. She's like the same age as you. Like, I think you guys would really get along. And I was like, all right, okay, well, let me reach out to her. Right. And so all of these steps, and I'm going to kind of go over how I put them together. All of these steps essentially led me to where I am now, which is like a very, in demand bar bat mitzvah, so random bar bat mitzvah photographer in the Bay Area. And had I not taken those like essentially delusional steps to like take action and walk towards my dream and live in this fantasy type land of like, I could do this, because it really is that simple. It's like starts as like a thought, right? And then your thought leads you to actions, and then those actions lead you to results, right? Which is exactly what happened with me. And I met Shayna, my friend. Like, she's like a best friend. I mean, we're going out to dinner on Friday for her birthday, and she got me into the bar and bat mitzvah industry. And I'd never been to a bar mitzvah my whole life until I photographed one. And it literally brought me to this space where I shoot like 30 plus events a year, making really great money, enjoying and loving what I do. So let's get into the steps now. Okay, so step number 1 is, and you've heard me talk about this, if you don't know what a C-type goal is, definitely check out the video that pops up here, because you're going to want to have a C-type goal. So we've gone over this in other videos, but A, B, and C-type goals. A is a goal that you could pretty much accomplish. You want to make, well, for me, it'd be like, if you want to make 6 figures, like that's a no-brainer. It's going to happen if I just keep breathing, right? So a B type goal would be like something a little bit bigger, like maybe like $300,000 instead of like six figures, right? Something bigger that's like I couldn't really see myself doing, but if I put the effort into it and I did it, day in and day out, and I saw it, I could definitely do it. But a C-type goal would be something like me, like making 500 to $1 million a year. Like that's like basically something that I could never imagine. Like, I mean, I could imagine it, but like I could never really see myself doing that. So it's like a fantasy, right? It's something that you definitely could not imagine doing. Like, let's say you're a stay-at-home mom and you want to have a career one day, but you're so bogged down with the kids, like having a career in, I don't know, broadcasting or something, whatever it is you want to do. Like that's such a dream fantasy that you could never see it right now, right? It's living kind of in the outside, kind of crazy fantasy world, like something that's not like normal day in and day out, like our 3D type world, right? What we see with our eyes on a daily basis. It's kind of like living in the fantasy, like living in your dreams, essentially. So that is the first step. Is you have to, number one, have a C-type goal. So whatever that is for you, if it's like, let's relate it to photography. If it's making six figures and you're only at like 30,000 or 40,000 a year, like a C-type goal would be like making 500,000, just having that delusional feeling and emotion in your head day in and day out. Like for me, it was like I was legit trapped in a marriage. Like I was in Florida. My whole family lives in California, and I am like halfway across the entire country all by myself in this marriage that I'm like miserable in, right? So my C-type goal was like to basically become a photographer, like a person that is doing something they enjoy and love as a career and getting paid for it. Literally was like a fantasy for me. Like I couldn't see myself not being in the marriage. I just didn't see a way out. So I remember thinking about it every day, like, and then just picking up magazines and like looking in the magazines to see who was a photographer. And where we live was such a small town that, I just started reaching out like to these photographers. Like I would have the vision and the dream and the feeling, and then I would have the inspired action to like reach out to, I remember the girl was Rebecca Rogers. She's a photographer in Naples, Florida, and she did all of the cover shoots. And I just reached out to her and she's like, sure, let's do it. Like come with me on a shoot. And I'll never forget it. It was this model. We were on the beach and I learned so much with her and through working with her. So you have to start with the C-type goal. You have to start living in the fantasy world. It's a little delusional. That's why I titled it this. It's a little delusional, but you have to do it. You have to live in that fantasy, start living in it. And then what's going to happen is you're going to start to like have these thoughts that'll lead you to actions. And then the actions will lead you to different results that will produce. Like I said, I had the thought of becoming a photographer. I started looking at magazines. I started reaching out to people. And then I started educating myself through like second shooting and talking to other photographers. And then all of a sudden I had the courage to leave my ex, move back to California. And then I became what I am today. Okay. Step number 2 is you're going to want to work on a daily basis, bending this matrix that we live into your reality. So like I said, you're going to have to live in the fantasy land, and you're going to have to like start taking actions to actually bend the matrix that we live in to like what it is that you want. So let's think of like the airplane, right? How did the airplane come about? Somebody had a thought, they had idea, and they started taking actions towards it. And then all of a sudden we had an airplane. So you have to start bending the matrix of the world to your reality. So start creating the vision of it, start taking actions like I told you, and making it happen in your life. Okay. Because if you just live in the fantasy land, you're not going to get anywhere. It's just going to be a fantasy. You have to do what I did, which is, I was miserable. It was a really, really horrible part of my life, albeit beautiful, because I think that everything leads to something beautiful, right? Even the bad stuff. And I don't regret any of it. I wouldn't change any of it, because I am who I am today because of that, right? But it was because of the pain that I had the thoughts, that I took the actions to bend my, matrix to the reality of what I wanted. And all those little things, those little actions, it didn't happen overnight, but I took those actions and steps towards doing what I wanted. And here I am, like I said, 30 plus events a year, doing stuff that I love, completely booked out all the time, busy, 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 loving what I do, making money. I literally just was talking with a friend yesterday, and she was telling me, like, she's an event planner, telling me like, oh, here are the pictures. We did a photo shoot. And she's like, I know you're so busy. And I'm like, I know, I am very busy and I have to do this first, but I'm like telling you right now, I'm so happy and grateful because I couldn't imagine working at a company where they don't appreciate you or value what you bring to the table. And all the time between the vendors, the clients, all of it, I am so like loved and adored. And I'm so grateful for my clients because they care and they love me and adore me and they have dinner. They're like friends. It's really, really, really awesome. And I feel like everyone should have this experience. Like, I feel like nobody should be trapped in a miserable job. Albeit, yes, I'm very busy, but I really love that. And I feel purposeful and I've been the matrix to my reality of what I want. And you can too. Okay. Third step. I don't think I really did this in the very beginning 20 years ago because this is kind of a new thing for me, but I think it's really, really important. I think if you do it, you will see massive, massive results. So the third step is meditation. And what I do every morning, and this just proves to be true how much it works because I've been doing it, like visualizing it for years, but I really kind of upped my game and really took it serious as I learned a little bit more about meditation. And in September, actually, recently, it was so crazy. I really upped my game, doing it morning, almost morning, noon, and night, for sure, morning and evening before I wake up. And then before I go to bed, it's a non negotiable. But I also sometimes, too, when I'm like a little bit like edgy or like I just feel like I need to calm myself, I do it in the afternoon. I think if you were to do it morning, noon, and night, you would definitely see fantastic results. But as I did meditation kind of like part-time a little bit, I definitely saw a lot of results. But recently, as I've learned how to do it more in depth, in September, I got 19 leads. So it was awesome. I think I closed at the 19. I think it's like about an 85 to 90% close rate on those. So pretty stoked on that. So meditation is a huge, huge piece. And what I do is I literally just live into it. So I'll listen to I have two meditations. One is by Bob Proctor, who I love, and I love a lot of his teachings are exactly what I talk about. But he has a meditation through Mind Valley, and I can link all that stuff down below. But Mind Valley is a great tool to get meditations from. I do one with him about shifting your paradigm. So he has one on shifting your paradigm, and then I have one that kind of like helps you step into the reality that you want. So I just visualize my C-type goal and I see myself accomplishing it and all of that, what that entails and how I feel, what I have, who I help, the lives I change, and all lives, like the clients, the family, the friends, everyone. So I see that, feel it, and see it like it's first person, right? It's like it's happening right now because you just step into it. You bend the matrix to what you want, your reality that you want. That's a little bit delusional. And then you'll start to see as you get those things and as you accomplish it, it's like not delusional because it actually ends up happening. And then you're like, I could do so much more, right? Which is like the whole point of these videos that I'm doing, which is trying to help you gain that knowledge to do more. So my third and final step is meditation. And you don't need to do the same ones that I do. Just go out and get something calming, or it could be something really motivating, whatever you want. I like the kind of chill vibe, and you just do it morning and evening at the minimum. And if you want to really take it up a level, then you do it morning, noon, and night. And you can do different types, and we can get into like hemisync meditations and quantum leaping and stuff like that down the road, but we're not going to talk about that now. So that is number 3, is meditation. All right, so those are my 3 steps to being delusional and how being delulu can actually help you manifest anything in your photo biz. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, make sure to like and subscribe, comment down below. And if you're struggling in your photo business and you want to get to that 6-figure mark, definitely reach out. All of my details are down in the descriptions box below. I'm happy to have a conversation and help see how I can help you or get you on that path to earning 6 figures. And if you want to know more about C-type goals, definitely check out the video popping up here because it's going to tell you all about how making a C-type goal is the path for you. So have a great week and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.